Good morning, this is Dr. Fletcher with your Monday Motivation. This month we are talking a lot about gut health, and today I wanted to bring up the topic of autoimmune disease as it relates to gut health. We see a lot of patients with autoimmune disease, and patients are always asking, like, what's my gut have to do with it? So the first thing to touch on is the microbiome, because that is intricately entwined with your autoimmune and your immune health. So the microbiome is really what we consider now the new frontier of medicine. We are learning so much more on a daily basis about the role that these 100 trillion bugs that live in our gut play a role with all types of metabolic processes. They have a million different genes. And for perspective, like the human body only has about 30,000 genes. So they are controlling much more than any of us ever imagined in the past. We used to think that our gut was really primarily playing a role for digestion and creation of nutrients and vitamins. But now we know that the gut microbiome is playing a role in metabolic activity, inflammatory processes, contributing to cancers, neurodegenerative diseases, and also autoimmune disease. So within your gut lies about 80% of your immune tissue, and that's like your lymphoid tissue. So when your gut is unhealthy, your immune system is potentially exposed to the outside world, because your gut is really just a barrier between the outside world and kind of your inside systems. Autoimmune disease is escalating, and in fact, there are over 23 million Americans with autoimmune disease, and that number is on the rise every single day. We see it all the time. So what happens in autoimmune disease is that your immune system, which has been triggered, then starts to attack a form of your tissues that it no longer recognizes as friend, and you develop an autoimmune type reaction. So one of the primary roles that we look at with the microbiome and autoimmune disease is this disruption in kind of this healthy ecosystem of your microbiome, and a breakdown in that tight junction barrier, that single cell layer barrier between your gut and the outside world. Many things can trigger that, things in our common day life like toxins and stress and the crappy diet we all eat and medications and antibiotics, and it goes on and on. And most people who develop autoimmune disease have a genetic predisposition, some compromise in their gut barrier, and then a stressful triggering event. The good thing is once we identify what's going on with the gut and our immune system, we can help you address ways to repair the gut lining, support that healthy gut microbiome through changes with your diet, with supplements, with probiotics, and a number of things. So something to think about if you or yourself have a condition that's considered an autoimmune disease, that we now are, again, learning more and more about this microbiome in our gut and what we can do to get us on a healthier path and keep us all feeling a lot better. So I hope you have a good week. Stay tuned for more from Thrive.